This is all about the Bullshit Detector albums,
Ah.
and we're going to be submitting this to the guy that's making the films. And I'm just going to kind of start off saying how we actually got involved with it.
Well, how did you get involved with it?
Right, well, a mate of mine, he told us Crass were looking to compile an album of some kind. Now, the Disruptors had only just formed. I don't think we'd even played a gig at this point. We had about five or six songs at the very most, I think. And we didn't have any money, so the studio was totally out of the question. So we just got together in Kevin's bedroom, I think it was, with one of those small little Mickey Mouse cassette recorders, and stuck our 5 tracks down. I mean, musically we were all fucking clueless at the time, you know. I mean, the guy we had on guitar at the time, he had 3 strings on his guitar, and he used to play by moving his thumb up and down the frets. So obviously it was like fairly basic. But anyway, we sent it off, and a few months later I think I got a letter from Crass, and they said they were going to use it. And
Not just the crap recording that you did with the...
yeah, I mean, it's pretty bad. I mean, we eventually we re-recorded it on our first album, but I mean, we were dead chuffed to get on it. I mean, it was
when
an
was
honour.
this again?
This was back in 1980.
1980?
Yeah, back in 1980. And but I mean, it's worth doing because it kind of spurred us on, you know. And certainly didn't know where it was going to lead, and it's still in the set all these years later.
Where was it?
In the 21st century. Napalm.
All right.
Yeah. What, 1980? I was 18.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Norwich was a little bit dead at the time, actually. I mean, it got better, but 1980 was a bit of a dead patch around here, you know.
And was there a punk scene?
Sorry?
There
was one. It wasn't particularly big, but I mean, we had West Road Pavilion and stuff like that, you know.
Because this was like, 2 years after all the Sex Pistols hype and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So,
But this was kind of the start of the whole Anarcho-punk thing, really. I mean, I don't really remember that term being used until quite a bit later, but I mean, we didn't know it at the time, but it was definitely the start of it. And of course that led to all kinds of things. Direct action and all the rest of it, you know.
Stop the City.
Yeah, Stop the City, that was a good one.
Norwich, I seem to remember.
Let's not talk about the Norwich one, though. Well, we had good intentions, but I mean, we all ended up behind bars for that one, so...
So you were this sort of 18-year-old youth in Norwich.
Yeah. Well, it spurred me on, you know.
Happen? I mean, like, you know, why weren't you a sort of, you know, looking forward to your career in the bank and, you know, suit and tie and...
Well, it was perfectly made for me, really, because, I mean, it gave me a bit of a channel, you know. Because, I mean, I was never cut out for the kind of the straight world anyway. So. I mean, that's what... I mean, not just for me, I mean, there was plenty of other people involved in the scene, and that just kind of evolved into that, really. And it always seemed better. I always thought the anarchist side of things was... the political side of things was a lot more positive than Sid Vicious, really. And I suppose that's kind of how it evolved.
I mean, the first time I came across you, like, I think would be probably about '83, I think, wasn't it? With the
yeah, we were a bit older by then.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a
you
couple
couldn't play much better, but yeah.
Oh, we were a bit better. Come on. Well, we had a few more records under a belt by that point, you know.
Yeah.
But we were a bit more confident with the whole thing as well, you know.
So what was it like being at school? Were you still at school?
No, I left school in 1978.
Oh, okay. So what were you doing then? Were you working?
No, I was signing on. Yeah. I was working for a while when I left school, but I didn't stick at that very long. So I didn't work for much in the 80s, really. Don't think I worked in the 80s at all, actually. Did anyone?
Yeah, me.
Well, it was easy. It was easy getting by in those days without it. You know?
I was employed, whether that's work.
I mean, God, signing on these days is a bit of a life sentence, you know. But in the 80s it was easy.
There was just the 4 of you, or was it much bigger?
Well, we had a few line-up changes, really. Yeah. I mean, Given and Dave didn't last very long. And
who was Dave?
Dave, he was the first bass player we had. He didn't last very long. We had this incident where this train got wrecked, and he actually ended up giving evidence against me in court, which.
You wrecked a train?
Well, I wasn't that involved in it, to be honest. But I mean, it got wrecked after a gig one night, and it was just drunk and crap, you know. And he actually grasped me out for it, so I ended up in Crown Court for that. But yeah, I mean, you can't really have your bass player giving evidence against you, can you? Really?
Well, it's not, yeah.
So yeah, he didn't last long, but he couldn't fucking play anyway. So, but you know, we got Paul Greener and Hoffy in later on, and that's when we started getting a bit more serious about the whole thing.
So how did you meet these guys? What was the connection?
Oh, they were just around on the scene. I mean, I'd known Kevin for years anyway. But you know, you never know what it's going to lead into, do you? I mean, we're still doing it now, fucking 21st century. I mean, when we recorded Napalm, I never thought I'd be performing it live at Shepherd's Bush Empire, for God's sake, you know.
Punks weren't supposed to get old, though, were you?
Well, yeah, but we are, aren't we, you know? I mean, I'm 50 next year. I'm still fucking 18 up there, though, you know.
This sort of bedroom recording, then?
Yeah.
On a cassette recorder?
Yeah, it was
with
one of those...
With a microphone?
Sorry?
With a microphone?
I think it was one of those little rectangular ones that with a little microphone you used to plug in the side. Do you remember? One of these sort of 70s things, yeah.
That must sound really good.
Well, you know. Get the album out and see, you know.
So what did you think of the whole thing? What do you think about it now?
What do I think about the albums?
Yeah.
Well, I've got all three of the Crass ones. Apparently there was another one came out later. I've never heard it. That was on another label. I've got all three of the Crass ones, and to be honest, I haven't played them in well over 20 years. I'm not sure I'd get all the way through them now, if I'm totally honest.
What's that?
Well, I mean, they're pretty basic, and maybe my musical tastes have probably moved on a little bit, you know. But I mean, it was a snapshot of its time, really. You know, I mean, that was how the scene was kind of emerging, you know. It certainly got its place in sort of punk rock history, if you like, if that ain't a really corny term. But I will have to dig them out. I mean, I've still got them there, but I think I'll probably end up skipping tracks, you know. But some of those bands went on to sort of do good things as well. I mean, obviously Meebix, they were on the first one as well. And I think Andy T's doing stuff again now. Anthrax, of course. I mean, yeah, they were definitely worth doing.
3 festivals.
Well, I mean, it was Stonehenge, but I mean, the first Stonehenge I went to was 1983.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd been going on for a while before that, but 83 was the first one I got that down to, and 84, which was effectively like the last one, you know.
Yeah. Well, lots of bands putting cassettes out or something, didn't they?
Yeah, there was a big tape scene at the time. I mean, the Disruptors never did tapes. I mean, we did that. We put the track out, Bullshit Detector. The next thing we did was a 7-inch single. So we never did tapes. But I mean, there was a lot of that going about. I mean, it was so easy to fucking put out, you know. But we never did that.
So where's it all going?
Which?
It. Where is it?
It's what?
Yeah.
The whole Anarcho-punk thing?
The whole it, yeah. Where's it going?
Who knows, but I mean, we're all too old to change, aren't we? I mean, what else are we going to do? We're not cut out for the golf course, are we? Well, what else can we do? You just have to keep banging away at it, because that's all we know. And, you know, broaden your horizons, but when it comes down to it, you know, that's what we are. And I'm quite happy with that. Well, I don't know, I wouldn't want to sound like that again, personally. I mean, some people love that raw kind of bedroom sound.
When you heard this track,
yeah,
how did it make you feel?
What, when I heard it actually on the vinyl?
Yeah, you put your
I was fucking chuffed to bits to be on there, man. Yeah. It's like, wow, I've made a record. You know, we'll have a bit more of that, please. You know, and that spurred us on.
So it wasn't entirely a bad thing then.
No, of course not. No, it was a good thing. I just don't think I could actually get through the album in one listen again. There's some good stuff on it, you know, but I think I'd be skipping tracks. I don't know. I'm going to go home later, and I'm going to put the little in a bed. I'll put it on and see if I can actually sit through it. I don't think I'll manage all 3 albums though. Not all in one sitting. Alright, that's tonight's job.